We are starting now SAT 1 Maths. There are two papers in this. One is without calculator and one is with calculator. So we are going to define all the terminologies which are being used, and we are starting now with the topic of the numbers. The first topic of this SAT 1, which is concerned with all the numbers in the form of the numerics. There are three types of the numbers in the arithmetic topic. So we are going to define this arithmetic topic first. Now, in this topic, we are concerned with the topic of this number, which exists in the nature. All the numerics values are known as to be called numbers. They are in three different categories. One is known as to be called integers, which is denoted by z, and that thing is equal to all negative numbers with zero and with positive numbers. The second part of this is known as to be called fractions, which are in the form of p over q, where q is not equal to 0. And these fraction numbers are going to be further categorized in the two different forms. One is known as to be called rational numbers, and one is known as to be called irrational numbers. The difference between these two is because the word used there is the word rational, which is derived from the word ratio. So if the numbers are expressed in the form of the fraction, like this p over q, then they are known as to be called rational numbers. But for all the rational numbers, there are two categories. One is known as to be called recurring or repeating, and the other is known as to be called terminating. So if they are either recurring or repeating or terminating, then those fractions are known as to be called rational numbers, which are denoted by the letter q there, and which are not expressed in the form of the recurring numbers or repeating or there is no terminating, then they are known as to be called irrational numbers, which is denoted by I. And the examples for this one is 1 over 2, which is written as in the form of 0.5. So this is known as to be called a terminating number there. Or 1 over 3, which is known as to be called 0.333 and so on. Or it can be written in the form of 0.3 bar. So this is known as to be called repeating a recurring number there. So they are known as to be called rational numbers there. But if a number like this, that you are going to find out the square root of 8, which is basically equal to 2.8281. So we know that this number cannot be converted back to this square root of 8, or it cannot be expressed back to this fraction. So that is known as to be called irrational numbers there, which is we have already calculated as I there. We will explain it further in the assignment there. But you have to remember two things in it. If they are either terminating or they are recurring, then they are known as to be called the rational numbers. And if they cannot be converted back to the original form, or they cannot be converted back to the fractional form, then they are known as to be called irrational numbers there. Then the third form of this is known as to be called decimal numbers. For example, 0.4, 1.23, 1.456. So this is up till one decimal place. This is up till two decimal place. This is up till three decimal place. So they are known as to be called the numbers which are expressed in the form of the decimal numbers there. Then there are many things more which are being used in this topic, and they are known as to be called suppose, square root, which is expressed in the form of x square root, or it can be written in the form of x power half. So we can write this number as, for example, we are going to find out the square root of 16. Then it should be equal to 2 power 4 whole power half, and that thing is equal to 2 power 2, and that thing is equal to 4. So this is known as we call finding the square root of any number there. First convert it to the prime numbers, and then you can convert it to the value to that value. Then there is cubic root, which is written in the form of x cube root. Mathematically, it is x power 1 by 3. Suppose you are going to find out the cubic root of 64. It can be written in the form of 2 raised to power 6 power 1 by 3, that is equal to 2 power 2, and that thing is equal to 4. So this is known as to be called the cube root of any number there. But first convert it to the prime numbers and then convert it to this required form there. Then this other topic is known as to be called, which is used in this first topic of this arithmetic, is known as to be called rounding of data. Suppose a number is given there 2, 3, 6, 7, 4, 8, and you are going to convert it to the nearest 10. We know that 10 half is 5. So you will check the last digit of this. If it is more than or equal to 5, then you will add 1 to the preceding number. Otherwise, you will ignore it. So this number will become 236,750, because 8 is more than 5. So you add 1 to this preceding number, which is 4. So it will become this. If it is nearest 100, then we know that 100 half is 50. So you check the last two digit of this. which is 48. Now, 48 is less than 50, so you simply ignore this number, and this number will be written as 236700. If it is nearest 1000, we know that 1000 half is 500. There are three digits in it, so you check the last three digit of this, which is 748, which is more than 500. So you add 1 to this preceding number. So this number will become 236 will become 7, and then there are three zeros in it. So this is known as to be called rounding of this to the nearest 1000 there. So this is the rounding of data for the whole numbers. Then since significant figures is the numbers which play the role in the final calculation. If this calculation is there 2, 3, 6, 7, 4, 8, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are six significant figures in this part. If you use this, they after converting it to the nearest tens, if this number is let's supposed to be there, then you can write this thing number as equal to five significant figures there, because this zero has no role in it. If it is nearest 100, then these two zeros have no role in it. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are four significant figures. And if this is nearest 1000, then there are no role of these three zeros. So there is three significant figures of this when the numbers are given in the whole numbers to that calculation there. So this is the way that you can convert it to the significant figures after rounding off to the nearest numbers there. Then we use this board mass, which is meant for that brackets opened, then D stands for division, M stands for multiplication, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. So you will follow these rules in the order there when you do this calculation of this arithmetic numbers in this part of this topic 1 of arithmetic. So these are the few key points which we are going to use in the calculation without calculator for the numbers values there. And for this value, we are going to give you an assignment regarding this topic of arithmetic concerned with the numbers and their fractions and their decimals. And also, we know this sixth rule there for indices, which will be used in this part. Am into an is equal to a power m plus n. That is, a is the base, m is the power. This is the first rule. Then am into divided by an, it will be written as a power m minus n. Then a power m whole power n is equal to a power mn. Then it is a power m into b power m will be a into b whole power m. And if it is a power m divided by b power m, then it would be a over b whole power m, because Bases are different, but power is same. And if they are using a power 0, it is equal to 1, provided a should not be equal to 0. So these are the rules for this indices for this part of this topic of the arithmetic there. And now we will solve assignment 1 for this whole topic.